Mystery Babylon has begun to burn. April 15, 2019, Paris, France. A major fire erupted at the Notre-Dame Cathedral in Paris, severely burning and damaging the historic Catholic landmark. French investigators have ruled out arson, but many doubts linger as some Muslims were working on restorations of the structure, and the fire occurred during the Christian Holy Week of Easter. Furthermore, beheaded statues of the apostles were removed from the cathedral before the fire occurred, a telltale signature sign of Islamic vandalism, terrorism, and arson. Chrislam. In recent years, the Catholic Church, the always changing, ever-evolving church, has sensed the rising tide of Islam. And true to the meaning of Catholic, the universal church has begun to adopt Islam in with its pagan-rooted religion. Many Christian theologian dispensationalists speak of the end of the church age, the period of the Christian church, beginning at Pentecost until the final world rapture. What is often not spoken of is the judgment of God upon the Catholic and Protestant churches, which coincides with the end of the church age. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, an ancient proverb. The secular, agnostic atheist people of the free world have united with Muslims against the culture and faith within the Western Christian nations. The Western governments, often run by secular or Christian in name-only politicians, have welcomed in Muslim immigrants, flooding and overwhelming America, Europe, and other westernized Christian nations, knowing full well that Muslim immigrants will never assimilate to the culture or religion of their new, immigrated to nation. The Western secular politicians, wanting to fully implement a new world order with a central world government, view Judeo-Christian values as a major impediment, slowing them down from attaining their globalist government vision. Thus, the secular politicians, who have nothing in common with Muslims, have embraced them, as they know that Islamists will be an enemy of their enemy, Christians. The Catholic Church, from its very foundation, was a usurper church, attempting to steal the glory that was due Yeshua, Jesus, and bestow it upon itself and Mary. Notre-Dame is a French noun phrase, meaning Our Lady in English, Nuestra Señora in Spanish, a reference to the Virgin Mary. Catholics bow, pray, serve, worship, and build cathedrals and statues to Mary. By doing so, they break the first and second commandments of God simultaneously. Exodus 20, verse 2 through 5, and Deuteronomy 5, verse 6 through 9. I am Yahweh the Lord, your God. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself a carved image. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. Who designed the Notre-Dame Cathedral, anyway? Demons? Satan? The Catholic Church, a usurper church, has even declared salvation through itself. The Catholic Church says, extra ecclesiam nulla salus, Latin phrase meaning, outside the Catholic Church, there is no salvation. John 4, verse 22, and 14, verse 6.
Do not really know whom you worship. But we Jews know whom we worship, because it is from the Jews that salvation comes.
I am the way, the truth,
and the life. No one goes to the Father except by me.
Yeshua, Jesus said, "You worship what you do not know. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." Yeshua, Jesus, is of the Jews, and his law, Torah, was given to the Jews. The Catholic Church was founded upon the lie that Jesus Christ began the Catholic Church upon the rock of Peter. What is the rock in Matthew 16, verse 18? The book of Matthew. Matthew 16, verse 16 through 18, with interpretation. Simon Peter answered and said, "You are the Messiah, Christ, the Son of the living God." Yeshua, Jesus answered and said to him, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I also say to you that you are Peter, and on this rock, statement of faith that my Father has revealed to you, I will build my church, assembly, and the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it." The Apostle Peter was never the first pope or bishop of Rome, as Peter was the apostle to the Jews, according to Galatians 2, verse 7 through 8. Of all Peter's many travels recorded in the scriptures, he never set foot in Rome. Yeshua, Jesus, built his church, assembly, upon himself, based on a statement of Peter that he was the Son of the living God. Yeshua, Jesus, did not build his church, assembly, upon the supposed rock of Peter. Yeshua, Jesus, did not come to start a new religion. He came to be the Messiah of the faith that was already in existence. The Roman Catholic Church is Mystery Babylon, the secretive, false religion cloaked and presented as the true faith. The Book of Revelation. Revelation 17, verse 4 through 6, with interpretation. The woman, Catholic Church, was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup full of abominations, false doctrines, and the filthiness of her spiritual fornication. And on her forehead a name was written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother church of harlots, daughter Protestant churches, and of the abominations, false doctrines of the earth. I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yeshua, Jesus. Millions of martyred saints killed by the Catholic Church through Catholic inquisitions and persecutions during the Middle Ages. Revelation 17, verse 16 through 18, with interpretation. These, the secular and Muslim people of Europe, will hate the harlot, Catholic Church, make her desolate and naked, eat her flesh, and burn her headquarters, the Vatican, St. Peter's Basilica, with fire. For God has put it into their hearts, the secular and Muslim people of Europe, to fulfill his purpose, judge Mystery Babylon, the Catholic Church, to be of one mind, united against Catholic and Protestant Christianity, and to give their kingdom, Vatican City, to the beast, anti-Messiah, Antichrist, until the words of God, end-time prophecies, are fulfilled. And the woman, Catholic Church, whom you saw, is that great city, Vatican City, which reigns over the kings of the earth. The Catholic Church says, the gates of hell shall not prevail against the Catholic Church. Yeshua, Jesus said, I will build my church, assembly, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Matthew 16, verse 18. The Catholic churches are the gates of hell. Catholic theologians and teachers are the gatekeepers of a false religious system, Mystery Babylon, which has blinded the masses with idolatry and lying wonders, and keeps them from learning the true ways of the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus. The Book of John. John 4, verse 23 through 24. The hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth, for the Father is seeking such to worship him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth. One cannot worship God through the teachings of the Catholic Church and through the Holy Scriptures. The Catholic Church's teachings are incompatible with the Scriptures, which they claim to represent. The Catholic Church mixes God's festivals with pagan holidays, commits spiritual fornication with other gods, Ishtar through Easter, Nimrod through Christmas, the Queen of Heaven through Mary, and has intended to change God's times and laws. The Catholic Church has intended to change God's appointed feast times and laws, but cannot change them because God's times and laws are eternal and unchangeable. Catholics, Protestants, and many mainstream Christians are not obeying many of God's eternal commandments, having replaced them with commandments of men, and are not worshiping God in spirit and truth. Many people of the world may be sincerely grieving the loss of the Notre-Dame Cathedral in Paris, but such mourning is in vain. God's judgment is coming upon the Roman Catholic Church and all of its cathedrals for its iniquity. The cross still stands amongst the burned rubble of the Notre-Dame Cathedral, and the cross will always stand. But Mystery Babylon's false religious system will fall. Mystery Babylon, the Roman Catholic Church, does not represent the Scriptures, and will come under the judgment of Almighty God for misrepresenting them. Mystery Babylon, the Catholic Church, has begun to burn. St. Peter's Basilica and Vatican City will one day be burned by fire and plundered, and the Catholic Church will ultimately fall as a religious institution.